Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here, and today's video is going to be the beginning of a decluttering series. And today I have in front of me some eyeshadow palettes, the drugstore, $1 from Shop Miss A, just some really inexpensive things. Some of these things I've had for a really long time and I need to declutter as I go. So I'm just going to pick them up and I'm going to show you. I may swatch one or two as I go along, but and then whatever I'm going to discard, I'm going to discard it as I go. So somebody asked to see my collection, and of course this is just one little drawer out of all the stuff that I have, but it's like some of the oldest and least used products that I have in my collection. So I thought, well, as far as decluttering goes, this would probably be a good place to start. So let's just get right into this. And it's going to be really hard for me to declutter because I am such a clutter bug, and I'm sentimental, and I keep things even if I'm not using them because they've just meant so much to me in the past, and it's crazy, and I've got to get away from it, and I'm working on that, and I'm trying my very hardest. But some of this stuff, I'll be honest with you, I've had since I was probably a teenager. And I laugh when I say that because that just sounds so ridiculous, but I think there is something in here that I had from way back then. But several things that I've had since I was in my late 20s, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it really is. But don't judge me in the comments, please. Don't come after me. Be kind, be gentle. Just understand that I'm a person that for many years of my early adult life, it was like I lived week to week, paycheck to paycheck. And many of you understand that and know what that's like, and maybe even going through that. So money was hard earned and makeup was hard to come by. And so every little thing that I picked up along the way back then was something that I valued and I treasured, and I took care of it, and I've kept it all these years. So anyway, things are a lot easier now. Anyway, let's get off of all of that. But I just want to show you what I got, and for the sake of a long video, I want to try and get the things that I'm going to, you know, keep done first. I'm going to do these things first. These are some little palettes from BH Cosmetics, and they've sold these on their website for like $1 a piece. They're not that, I don't even know if they carry these anymore, but anyway, they're just little 6-pan eyeshadow pans, and they have some really pretty colors in here, and I really like these little eyeshadow palettes, and I do use them. And BH Cosmetics has pretty decent formula, and I think this is a duplicate. Not quite. It looks similar to the one I just showed you, but it's not quite. Instead of a brown, it's got a couple of grays, and there's no purple in this one. So those little spongy things, I don't use those. I just toss them now that I've got brushes. Anyway, here's one I really like. This makes a pretty eye look right here. And here's one that has like a green in it, and an olive green. Really pretty smoky eye. And here's one that's got some really nice neutrals and that pop of pink. So I like all of those, and I'm going to keep all of those. I think that they're, you know, they're really nice. And so even though they didn't cost me much, I just want to keep them. All right, let's go through these right here. That way I can have a place to sit everything. These are some little $1 palettes that I got off the Shop Miss A website when I first started into doing YouTube and collecting, really collecting makeup. And but these are so pretty. The formula is awesome, and this is from a series that it was called Starry Colors, Starry Boutique Colors. It was from and there was, I think, an applicator there as well. But anyway, look at the colors on these, and these are so pigmented. They're so pretty, And the shimmers are just awesome. And again, these came with, yeah, like a little sponge thing. Let me just discard that. But look at those. Look at that metallic right there. That is awesome. I mean, just some really pretty shades. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, for $1. I mean, you know. Here's another one. Super pretty. And this one makes for a really pretty eye look too. Those pretty, like reds and pinks. And then those grays. Let's see. And here's one with blues and greens in it. Love, love, love these little eyeshadow palettes. I couldn't believe it when I got them. I was like 8 little eyeshadows for $1, you know. And then the way that they perform, I mean, was just unbelievable. So sometimes you can find some really nice things even for $1. So I'm going to keep those. And I'm going to stack them up. Sorry, my elbow's in the way. I'm going to stack them up right there in that little drawer to keep them organized. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few things that I've had for a really long time. So here's a little palette that I used in my late 20s. This was about the time that I met my husband. I don't even know who made this. It seems like it was Physicians Formula or Alme. And there's a little mirror right there. And I hit pan on this. But it's just some really neutrals, but some shimmery neutrals. And I used all of that one, which I can't even tell you now what the color was in that. Anyway, they were like shades of brown, and this was like a purpley type brown. Anyway, I'm ready to let that go. This was a well-loved palette. Here's something that's from Max Factor, a little plastic container, and the lid is broken. But this shadow, when I first found this, and it looked like, it really made my blue eyes pop because it's like a plummy brown. But this thing, I had this when I was living at home, way, way back. This thing, I've had it forever. But I love this eyeshadow, love the formula, love the way the color, the way it made my eyes look. Anyway, I'm going to declutter that. Here's one. I can't remember where I got this. Probably at the Dollar Tree or someplace. From a company called CQ. It's called Sunset. Which is just basic colors, you know. I've been a neutrals girl my whole life. This is the kind of stuff I really like. Anyway, but these aren't really that pigmented, and I'm not really that impressed with this palette, so I'm going to let that go. Here's one from Avon that I've had since probably 2000 or something. Year 2000. Just some really basic neutrals. Again. Boring! Now this is one I believe I had in high school. Now y'all don't laugh. Whoop! The lid. I didn't realize the lid was broken. Anyway, just some greens and a dark brown and a gold and some like peaches and whites. But you can see I've dug down into those and, you know, created some really fun green looks with these. Anyway, I'm ready to let this go. But this was a well-loved palette. So, you know, that's for those times when I really wanted something like green, you know. Alright, here's a couple from CoverGirl. Here's a basic brown. Loved this. Amazing. I'm letting that one go. And here is like a vanilla champagne white kind of a shimmer, which, you know, my classic look was, you know, the white shimmer on the lid and up in the brow bone, and then I would use the brown in the crease, and that was, you know, after I got out of high school and I started, you know, getting serious about makeup, like in my 20s, you know, I learned through some tutorials and stuff, like in magazines and what have you. And so that's what I went for. I went for a darker color in the crease and a lighter color on the lid and the brow because of my deep set hooded eyes. All right, here's a couple from L'Oreal. And again, browns. One's a shimmer and, well, they're both like satins. But anyway, this is a really nice formula. So this is called Soft Effects. And then here's another one. I didn't like this one as much, but it's gray. I liked the light color, but the gray color was kind of, I don't know. It was like a goldish gray. It was a funny color gray. I really didn't like it as much. Anyway, I'm letting those go. Okay, here's one I got at the Dollar Tree a couple years back at Christmas time. And let me move this Q-tip out of here. I liked the colors because I like cool tone smoky looks, but yet I like warm smoky looks as well. But mostly what I used in this palette was all these blues and grays, especially right through here. I didn't use the navies too much, but anyway, right through here, and then I used these a couple of times. But anyway, it's they're not that impressive, you know, as far as pigment is concerned. You know, so I'm ready to let that go. Now here's a couple from Maybelline, and I've had these for a really long time, probably since I was in my 20s. So here's one with some blues, a couple of purples and a pink, and this was fun. I really liked this palette. I didn't dig down too much deep into it. This is about the time that I was starting to really get into makeup. Of course, this is way before the internet and YouTube. But anyway, because I was getting into makeup, I was buying things more often. And as a result, I had more of a variety to choose from. But I still leaned towards the browns. And so anyhow, I didn't dig into that near as much as I probably should have. And here's another one from Maybelline that I really did like. So you can tell just by how dirty it is. Anyway, this is a fun palette. Okay, I'm letting all that go. Alright, now here's a couple of little things that I got. Now these aren't drugstore. This is high-end. This is all from Lancome. Got a couple things here. Sometimes I would buy a lipstick and they'd give you like a bag with some free items in it. And so anyhow, there's this shadow here, which is like a nude. It's kind of a just a basic, I don't want to say tan, but it's like a peachy brown, just really light. And then this little palette here. This one's gone. I think it had like a really light color, and this was like a brownish gray color. And then here's another one. So anyway, it's been a while, so I'm letting all those go. All right, now let's get into Wet n Wild. I have 2 or 3 things here from Wet n Wild. This is a cream eyeshadow palette, and it's called the Avant Garde, and it's broken, but anyway, the part that broke off, there's a mirror, and then there was a little brush inside. Let me just get that out of the way. And this is kind of messy, and you can blend these out just as sheer and light as you want them. And this was pretty on the cheeks as a highlighter even. But I had fun. I had fun with this palette, so I'm letting that go. And here's a couple of powders that I bought. It hasn't been that long, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And so anyway, it comes and it tells you right on there where to put it at. Like this one is the brow bone, and this says the crease, and this says the eyelid. So anyway, and it gives you like a little tutorial on the back, you know, which is kind of fun, you know. So, but anyway, they're not pigmented at all, so I'm letting those go. And then here's another one that I did a couple of basic looks with. And it takes a lot to build these up. These were from the Color Icon collection. All right, now let's get into some Milani. I got 3 from Milani here. And I think I bought these on the Shop Miss A website. Anyway, here's a really pretty purple. Satin, I'm keeping this. And then here's a beautiful navy. I'm keeping this. And here's a really pretty light blue. And I'm keeping this. So I'm going to keep all 3 of those. And then here's a couple of palettes from Santee. I got off the Shop Miss A website. It's called Sexy Colors. So this is like blues and purples, which is really pretty. Really, really nice. Pigmented. I'm going to get rid of this brush. So I'm keeping that. And this is a fun little palette right here. This was the first palette where I ever tried anything really bold and daring and bright. You know, like this red and this orange. And I mean, it just makes such a pretty look. And I was so impressed with the way red did on my eyes. It just sold me on red eyeshadows. So I'm keeping those. Okay, and then I've got some here from Clean Color. Just some fun little palettes. This is the Alpha Girl series. There were 3 of these. And this one was called Cancun. And in this palette, there was like some gel eyeliner. And then there were some shades like for eyebrows. And then these right here were like, you could wet these and use them for eyeliner. And then the rest of this was eyeshadow. So it was one of those palettes where it was like, you could get a whole eye look. Eyeliner, eyebrows, and eyeshadow all, you know, in one palette. So this gel eyeliner was fun. Okay, and then here's another one called New York. And there's Lady Liberty. And they came with these little brushes with the sponge on one end and, you know, a smaller brush for the gel eyeliner on that end. And again, eyebrows, gel eyeliner, eyeliner that you just wet down, and then of course all the eyeshadows. And then one more here. This one's called Alpha Girl Paris. And the same thing. Colors for the eyebrows, eyeliners, gel eyeliner, and then eyeshadows. So these are super fun. I really like those, and I'm going to keep all 3 of those. Here's one from Santee. It's called just simply Professional Eyeshadow, and just some basic warm browns, which I really enjoyed using this. And here's one called Loveville. If you could crack that back open again as soon as possible, I appreciate it. Because it's my husband's cleaning the windowsill. Let me throw this away. Anyway, just some fun little bright colors. Some basic, you know, neutrals, and then a couple of pops of color here. These weren't all that pigmented, so I'm going to let those 2 go. And then we have from Clean Color the American Icon Wet Dry Baked Eyeshadows. Let me open this up. This basic blue here. And then this color here, which is beautiful. It's like a bluish green almost. Love that. And then a basic white. So I love white eyeshadow. Okay, so for, you know, baked eyeshadows, they're not bad at all. Okay, I'm keeping all of those. Now I have a whole nother section here, LA colors. It's nothing but LA colors, and I've got a bunch. And some of these I got at the Dollar Tree, and some of them I got on the Shop Miss A website. And I am going to declutter some of these, but I am going to keep some also. So let me set this right over here. I'm trying to, you know, organize as I go. Okay. So I have some fun palettes here from LA Colors. Little 6-pan eyeshadow palettes that came with a little sponge. I'm going to throw these little sponges away. Anyway, just basic browns. And then some pinks and some warm, like terracotta shades. And then there's this fun one here. It's got all these pretty aqua blues. Looks like the beach almost. And then some pinks and some grays. And then your basic brown and black. And then this last one has some greens, which makes a really fun eyeshadow look. I've used this before as well. Alright, so I'm keeping all of those because they're good. They're pretty pigmented. And here's some others that are pigmented. I got these at the Dollar Tree. All of these at the Dollar Tree. I think I did. Maybe I got some of them from Shop Miss A. But anyway, they're 3-pan eyeshadow palettes, and there's quite a bit of eyeshadow in these. Anyway, black, gray, and white. Oh my gosh, you gotta have those colors, right? And here's a fun one. This makes a really cute eye look. And this one here, which I've only used the blue out of this one because I was scared of that yellow, which I'm not now, but I was then. And this pink is so bright. I was scared of it too. Okay, and here's one that's got some basic like bronze and coppery type colors. Love this palette. And some blues and grays. Fun, fun, fun for smoky eyes. And some pretty pinks and purples. This makes a beautiful eye look. This one does. And if you notice, there's like a shimmery, like a dusting on top of the shadow, but the actual color of the shadow is that darker color that you see down underneath. And the same thing here with this periwinkle blue. So I thought that was interesting. You know, some of these look more shimmery on the surface than, you know, what they are after you get into them. And here's another palette I really like, especially this off-white eyeshadow and this really pretty pink. So anyway, those are all fun, very nice pigmented eyeshadow palettes. So I'm keeping all of those. Okay, now we're going to get into some ones that are a little bit questionable as far as keep worthy. Here's one I got at the Dollar Tree. It's called Darling, which I did an eye look with this, and I mean, it's just basic, you know, a basic eye look. And I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't anything to write home about or anything like that, and it didn't really impress me that much. And here's another little palette, 12 eyeshadows, and again, this is not really that impressive. And here's another one that, to look at it, it's, you know, it's pleasing to the eye, especially when it's cleaned up. Right now it's dirty, but you know, once you use it a couple times, it's like, it's not really anything that excites me, you know, anymore, because the pigment is, you know, you have to build it up. It is buildable, but anyway, I don't know. And then here's a little one, just a single. And LA Colors and Amuse eyeshadows are pretty much, you know, the same. This one right here is, it's chunky. But once you get it on, I mean, and blend it out, it's really pretty. But it's just, it's funky to work with. So anyway, I'm going to let all of those go. Alright, and here's a few that I really like. These are from LA Colors as well. I like these little palettes. They're aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And they come with this funny little curvy brush, but I'm going to get rid of these. But I like these little palettes. They're cute and they're fun to work with. Here's one. This is pretty for a fall look. And this is great for a smoky eye. Black and white and gray, and then an off-white. And of course, sometimes I'll open up 2 or 3 palettes at, you know, at one time, and I'll, you know, play with more than one. You know, I'll select from the colors. So there's a basic, that's for a basic smoky eye. And then there's this one that's got some really pretty pops of color, including this bright red. So I'm keeping all 5 of those. And then the last one that I have to show you today is this one from LA Colors, which is Baked. And it has some really pretty bronzy shades. So I'm keeping that too. Alright, well, I threw away probably about maybe 1/4 of what I had, maybe 1/3, I don't know. But anyway, over here in the trash can, I'm looking at what's in there, and I can't look at it too much because then I want to start digging it back out. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh, I could pass that along to my granddaughters or whatever. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. Some of them are so old that, you know, really nobody needs to use them. Okay, y'all. Well, that is it for the decluttering and for the eyeshadow drawer that had the oldest and the cheapest eyeshadows. So, but anyway, some of them are really fun, some of them are really pigmented, and some of them, you know, have some just nice variety in them, and you know, just a good all-around eyeshadow palettes, all-around eye look palettes. And it's just, you know, I enjoy makeup, not just expensive stuff, but inexpensive things as well. So anyway, this was the affordable eyeshadow collection. So anyway, that's it on this video, you guys. If you like this types of decluttering videos, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like them down in the comments. If you want to see more of my collection and see really what a pack rat I am, just let me know, and I'll be glad to do more of these types of videos for you. All right, that's it for me today, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.